You gotta.
If I think I have anxious attachment style, everybody knows I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign. I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? And if I gotta yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be.
See, that people thought she was playing when she said that. And when this whole thing jumped off with her and her child's father, DDG, everybody instinctively, as they always do, they jump on the woman's side. You're supposed to have empathy and compassion for anybody with a pair of titties. You don't bother to try to get no, context, understand anything. You don't wait for the evidence. Oh, what? That nigga must have did something. That's always the narrative. Man, I got so much. Boy, DDG and his team, they unloaded the clip on this heifer in court. Boy, look at here. We found out all kind of interesting things about Miss Halle Bailey. This is my first little nugget right here. DDG claims Haley took his gun after threat, submits concerning text, leave me to die. That is actually in one of her texts, bruh. You know what I'm saying? This is the person that we're dealing with. Halle Bailey. DDG's mom says Halle Bailey placed multiple air tags in DDG's vehicle. Claims Halle allegedly popped up on DDG while he was at the movies with a female friend and tried to fight the woman. That's in the court logs, gentlemen. That's in the court logs, all right? There are articles being written on these things. I think they found 5 air tags. That's the 5 that they found. I don't know if it's any more, but they found 5 of them. They found them in the baby's diaper bag, in his vehicles. I mean, this woman was stalking this man. She showed up at the movie theater. The mother's a witness to fight one of the girls that DDG was dating after he got rid of her. You understand what I'm saying? Never mind, she threatened to abort the baby because him and her were having difficulties. She threatened to abort the baby because him and her were having difficulties. Who does that? What kind of sick individual does that type of thing? Oh my God, if that ain't bad enough. She stabbed the guy. Stabbed the man in the hand, bro. That's what is being alleged. That's in the court documents, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the type of person that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God. And then when you start talking about the actual text, she just spazzing out. Hey, this is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up. She can't spell at all, my God. But I'm reading through the gibberish, right? You won't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. Just found out you with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to kill myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom. This the woman that got your kids, bruh. Talking about she's going to kill herself. And that chick that you banging, yeah, you can have her and let her be his mom. This is what she's telling you in these text messages, bruh. And then you got more. Answer the effing phone, Answer the phone. I'm going to try one more time. If you don't answer, it's over forever. I'm not playing Daryl. That's it. I'm calling for help. You can't see the bottom of this page because the page is funky. But the last text that she sent says, I have a knife. That was the significance of that particular text thread. So she took his gun when they had an argument, threatened to kill herself. I didn't have the screenshot of that one, but she also threatened to abort the baby. She's talking about she has a knife when she gets upset because she thinks that he's with another chick. She's stalking him. She cut him. I mean, all this is allegedly, but I mean, there's evidence, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And what's crazy, what made my head explode, that's not even all of it. That's just, this show is only so long, so I can't go on and on and on. But those are some of the main things. And what really made my head explode, you always got to read the comments. And damn if these goofy bird-ass females ain't in the comments talking about, oh, she's having postpartum depression, y'all making too much out of it. You know, that's normal when you got postpartum depression. First of all this stuff didn't happen after she had the baby. A lot of this stuff was before she had the baby. This is throughout. These are text messages from over the last couple years. You understand? As early as May of last year, I think is the last one. But you know, to 2 years prior, she's just all the time. She's erratic and making threats. Anytime she don't get her way, she's making some type of threat to hurt herself or whatever the case may be. You may not be threatening to hurt the baby, but you're the baby's mother. You're going to kill yourself and you're going to leave Halo with no mother. He even says that to her in one of the texts. And it's like, so he's requesting full custody of his child because he's saying that, you know, she's mentally unfit, you know, and I kind of have to agree if I'm just looking at those text messages. My God, who acts that way? So he did have some success. TMZ reported that his restraining order was rejected. That is false. His restraining order was granted, so she cannot leave the country to go and take the baby to Italy. She can't do that. She can go to Italy, but she can't take the baby with her to Italy. You understand? So that much is good. But man, I'm concerned about the baby now. God damn. And you know, it looks like he wanted to keep all that stuff under wraps, but she tried to destroy this man's image publicly. And so she kind of forced his hand. He had to show everybody what type of a goddamn lunatic she is. That's what I got from it. What y'all see? That's what I got from it. What y'all see? Talk to me. Talk me off the ledge.
Nah, you're right on the ledge where you need to be. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you look at these type of stuff, one of the major things we always talk about is make sure you know who you're dealing with when you procreate.
Yeah.
As much as I want to have sympathy for DDG, and I do have some sympathy and empathy for him, but part of his responsibility and part of holding him accountable is this is who you chose to lay down with. You know, so you have to look at it as a learning lesson. I know you're a young dude. You got to look at it as a learning lesson. And hopefully, you know, one thing that I do like about celebrities when we're having healthy conversation and dialogue is that you get to see these people that you guys admire go through the same stupid, dumb shit that regular people do. They just have more money and a wider platform. Agreed. So instead of embracing the toxicity, just look at it and learn from these people's fuck ups. That's the greatest thing. You get to learn a lesson without being in the lesson when you watch these type of things. Because let me tell you something, and I think a lot of preachers don't talk about this, but I'm always a number one advocate for this. You can live heaven and hell on earth. Heaven and hell is not in another realm. We don't know what the other realm is. Heaven and hell is what you're doing on earth. You can live heaven-wise, like a tranquil, healthy, a very happiest and joyous life. There's plenty of people that's living like that. Everybody ain't struggling. Everybody ain't mad. Everybody ain't grumpy. There are people that are living healthy lives, enjoying life and living it. And it doesn't have anything to do with money. It's basically how they roll with how themselves, how they're grown, and how they function through their family. But you have the power to control whether you're going to live in heaven while you're here on earth or live in hell. Because there's a lot of people that got money and they are living in hell because of their fucked up choices. And money can't get you out of those choices. You know, it can help you, you know, to deter a lot of that stuff, but you're still going to live in the full effect of hell.
Right.
So I think a lot of times people don't look at it from that perspective, but this woman is very psychotic. And like Drake has said previously on this podcast, a lot of these women go undiagnosed that have mental disorders. And that's I'm not anybody clinically, but I'm just saying, if somebody can admit out of their own mouths that they have some real fucked up ways, that is mentally somebody who's not really living in the correct headspace that they need to be living in. You know, so a lot of these women, man, have to be self-evaluated. And fellas, you know, Just like how these women are asking you to show them, medical records to make sure you clean. Hey, when the last time you got a medical record to check out your head to make sure you got a psychiatrist? Do you have a therapist? That should be a no more. Do you have a therapist? That is a clear indication of where she's moving forward. Because one thing that I don't like is this narrative of the victimhood of women. Women are always placed in the victimhood, even when they are a villain. And that's one of the reasons I hate the fucking Tyler Perry movie Straw. It fucking victimizes women that make piss poor fucking choices. And you got a whole movie rallying behind that shit and catering coddling to that shit. And when I'm looking at all the women that are supporting that fucking movie, it's women that made fucked up choices, and that's why they're gravitating and trauma bonding with this movie on another level. I'll land my plane on that.
Facts. Shout out to that garbage ass movie for being garbage. Straw. That's probably, I don't know, it's out of that one and the one with Kelly Rowland. Which one is the worst that he's made? He's getting progressively worse. I'm gonna do a whole post, a whole video on that because that shit was that bad. My God, Bobby, what you got, man? Talk to me.
Oh man.
Women are wonderful, right? Ain't that what she said it was? The women are wonderful theory.
The women are wonderful effect, yes, sir. I've had some very interesting conversations and I've observed some very interesting conversations related to this.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to the extent at which men are expected to just go ahead and support and empower female nonsense.
Yeah, it really is.
It's amazing. I've literally seen, and this is me not even studying this case that much. I honestly have not gone out of my way to look for anything about this case. It's just been flying around so much. You can't help but be informed.
You can. It's everywhere.
It's damn near in the ether. You could almost inhale it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that, before this particular development, this wrinkle in the whole situation, he was all kind of negative, this, that, and the third. He's harassing her. He's doing all these things to bother her and everything. He's not safe, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And then he breaks silence and he goes and drops receipts saying, Is this your queen?
Yeah.
Is this what you ride for? Is this her?
Basically.
Miss
And they say yes. And they say yes.
Right. And then I've seen on more than one occasion in a ton of responses to this that now apparently showcasing evidence and receipts and invoices and ticket stubs, clearing your name, saying, "Hey, you think it's me? No, it's her." Now apparently that is you harassing her and tormenting her.
Not only that, it's sassy. That's what I've been seeing.
Why are you putting this out to the public? Why is this being filed in court? Wait a minute. She's saying and doing a whole bunch of garbage that has nothing to do with the courts whatsoever on social media.
Come on now.
It's cool when she do it. It's the problem when I do it. Wait a minute. So if I just sit back and let you slander and besmirch my good name, my character, then I'm everything that she said.
Yeah.
If I fight back and defend myself, well, you're a horrible person for fighting back and defending yourself.
Yeah. Come on, man.
It's if you honestly take a look, I've said this before, and I have no qualms with saying it. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't care. My life took a strongly positive turn when I stopped listening to women.
Wow.
You can say what you want. The peace and the clarity of mind that I developed when I stopped listening to women to the next level. I can count on one hand, maybe borderline two hands, maybe one hand, the number of women that I actually listen to. When I say those women are sharp, they're
out there.
They're clear cut.
Yeah,
they're solid women. They're pure gems. and they're logical. They don't camp and they don't do the whole pick me nonsense for men. But at the same time, they don't go and they're all anti-men. They are fair. They are balanced. They're down the line. They call it straight.
No
and
doubt.
Sometimes every now and then I'll even bounce some ideas off of them. They keep me centered. They keep me in alignment. But I trust them and they have proven, I've observed them, I've witnessed them in a number of different situations and scenarios, and they have proven themselves to be women that I can listen to and trust, and I can respect their perspective and opinion.
Nice.
But the rest of them, most women do not know if they're coming and going.
It's unfortunate.
They're out here in the airport trying to catch a plane, use the damn bus terminal map. That's how wonky they are. And you can tell by the results they're getting in their own life. You can see the chaos and the anarchy in their own lives. Again, it's not me jumping on, it's not me just nitpicking. No, I can see the instability in your own life. I understand why you would see things this way or have this perspective or try to give this. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that you are a person who is sincere and believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which means I know you're not a bad person, but I know that it means that there's some screws loose and you would benefit greatly from a maintenance man or some kind of caretaker to fix that up there.
You need something.
So you have to understand when you see the instability to recognize it for what it is. And like you said, Ant, you got to do the vetting. We tell women a lot of the time you should have picked better, but it's not a one-way street. It goes two ways, fellas. You have to pick better. Again, being a good parent starts long before the child is in the picture, long before the child is conceived, long before you and the mother, or speaking to women, long before you and the father get together and y'all bump uglies. When you are first vetting and considering who you are sharing yourself with, who you're considering for dates for a future with, that right there is the beginning of good parenting decisions.
There it is.
What's the buzzword now? I treat red flags like Six Flags.
What?
It's that's a, you get these little quips and these little mottos out that they come up with that.
Like
that's
Six Flags.
Because people tell people you see the red flags, avoid the red flags, and some people saying I treat red flags like Six Flags. I want to go on all the rides. I want to just go for it. These narratives, it's goofy, but unfortunately, the goofy mottos fit what the behavior is.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would be hilarious. It would be a drop dead laugh riot if people weren't really doing these things. How long have we been hearing dudes talk about crazy women got the best vagina? And so, I want to make decisions. I know I shouldn't be here much longer with this.
Don't get me started. Don't get
me
started.
That thing. And then they end up making permanent decisions with these people. And now all of a sudden they complain, man, my baby mama do this and third. You didn't see the red flags? But I thought it was Six Flags. Okay.
He thought it was six, exactly. What a clown.
So we have to start beginning with the end in mind. Just doing that. I'm not even going to take it any further. I'm just going to keep it as bare minimum as possible. Before anyone that you decide that you're going to be intimate with.
Yeah.
I could go a lot further, a lot more restrictive. I'm going to keep it as loosely tethered as possible.
Yeah.
Before you even consider doing anything physical with this person, ask yourself, if everything possible went wrong today or tonight, and this person wound up pregnant or got me pregnant, would I be all right with my child being like this person?
There you go.
Would this be someone that I could co-parent with if there's nothing to it? Could we at least say that? Just thinking like that alone, and trust me, that's not even scraping the bottom of the barrel. That really isn't.
That's real
just
basic.
That alone would make a world of difference.
Right. Yeah. But you got these radical feminists out here influencing our women, telling them, that you can wallpaper the internet with your ass and it's okay. It's your body. You do what you want to do. What did Aleister Crowley say, the famous Satanist? Do what thou wilt. Do you. Do what you want. It's just okay. And we see where that's getting us, right? The whole what anything goes mentality, do what thou wilt. We see where that's getting us.
And we keep complaining about it.
Yeah.
Which is
obviously
hilarious.
You gotta do something different.
That's why I tell fellas all the time, when a woman says, I'm looking for a guy who can handle me, that's a red flag. Run the other way.
It's a wrap.
Because that's a woman that is not accepting accountability. You're supposed to accept her toxicity and her bad behavior.
Yeah.
And you are a real man by doing that. Bullshit. That's like you going off into the middle of the fucking ocean knowing that your boat has 4 fucking holes in it. What is the fucking purpose? You're going to drown. And another thing too that you gotta watch these women when they have children. When these women have small children, because everybody is not just making children together and starting a family together. There's a lot of blended families. So part of your vetting process is figuring out how does she treat her child? Because a lot of times these women are making videos and they child over there, fuck you. And they like, that shit's so funny. And then guess what? I just showed y'all a video about that. You know, she's from an island. It's an island woman that had her son, and she's calling the child services to get her son removed out of her house. But these are the products of women that let that little small shit go until it becomes a huge problem now, and fuck it up your whole life. See, that's what we was talking about earlier. When you don't check it young at an early stage, it ends up growing to be a bigger and bigger problem. Till it gets to the point where it's going to go all the way left. Now you want to crush this dude's neck, like you saying you're on live talking about you want to strangle and beat your son, which can end up land you in jail. And he might end up dying. And your whole life is screwed up now. You know what I'm saying? All because you didn't take the corrective time to check that shit at the stages. Also molding your children on the right path. That's what our elders did for us. That's how we got here. Even the drug dealers. I can't talk about it more, how the drug dealers have protected me growing up. They knew that I was a product of a good lineage. And they said, man, we didn't have what you have. Fuck that. We don't want you out here. Go to school. If I see you out here, I'm going to tell your parents. And I'm going to fuck you up.
There it is.
That right there kept me on the path. We have to do the same thing for the next generation, and I'll land my plane on that.
No, y'all speaking nothing but facts, man. And you know, a lot of that comes from us just having that foresight, and us just not being selfish. You know what I'm saying? You always look out for the next person with your actions. You know what I'm saying? And we've gotten away from that. Very broadly as a community, we've really gotten away from that. We've become far too individualistic. We don't do what's good for the whole. You know what I'm saying?
Let me add this one thing in, dog, because I really hate that fucking movie, dog. But in that movie, fucking Straw, dog, let me tell you something, dog. And I'm talking to all the women that like that shit, right?
Yeah.
You sit there and like that shit because you want to sit there and be praised for your fuck up mistakes and things like that. But yet in Tyler Perry's movies that y'all don't acknowledge is the toxic black women that treat the other black women like shit.
Yeah.
In this fucking movie, there's a black woman that kicks her out the fucking her fucking apartment before she even came back with the fucking money.
Yeah.
Didn't even give her no fucking empathy, cussed at her, and then the black woman is cussing at the cops that came out there. Yo, man, y'all
it's always a mammy.
Change the programming, man.
Always. Yeah, we might have to do a whole show on that because that shit, it was that bad. If I don't do the individual interview, the individual review, we might have to do a whole show on that. It was that bad, bro. Like, and I'm gonna go back and do some retroactive reviews on Tyler Perry's shitty ass movies because his last 3 or 4 were just so horrible. Tyler Perry writes on a 3rd grade level. I don't know what niggas keep seeing in his movies, and you see the comments and it's just wonderful. You did it again. It's like, did what? This nigga
stunk it up.
Oh my god.
Stunk it up.
Oh, and he I mean, but outside of his page, he probably got a bunch of bots on the page for the film to do that shit. But outside of the page, even black women are dragging this movie. Even they're tired of the pandering. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, come up with something new, bruh. And, you know, there's a part in the movie where Tiana Taylor says, oh, you know, maybe she'll speak to me. You know, I'm a woman, someone she can understand, and, you know, all this old bullshit. And she's like, well, you know, a man robbed her and a man fired her and a man did this. And so they just found a way to crowbar that in when there were women in that story that were shitting all over her. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What? The damn principal, I mean, you know, we found out some other shit was going on, but, you know, the principal was looking at her all kind of crazy, whatever the case may be. Like you say, the landlord put her ass out. You know, the women in this movie wasn't rocking with her either. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
And the lady in the grocery store wanted her to lose her job over some wick shit that she wasn't supposed to do.
Come on, man. And then
the men are the bad guys, though.
But the men are always the bad. You have to ignore all that and find the man who did something wrong somewhere, because Tyler Perry is still mad that he was molested as a child by men. I think that's just what it boils down to. You know, and the thing that irks me about that is he keeps attacking heterosexual men, but the heterosexual men are not the ones that assaulted you. Projection. But that's a whole other story. We'll be up here all night talking about Tyler Perry's goofy ass and everything wrong about him. So let's go on to the next topic. Conversations 2020.